Hey, welcome back here to the Central PA Pour. And look off to my left. It is not Kevin. We have my son, Ben. It's your right as you're looking on the screen.
I'm actually a younger Kevin.
Younger Kevin?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I can be Kevin all you want.
Off to my right, your left is Mr. Dave.
Do you want me to say something?
Fucking right.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. Just had a week's vacation, and
Yeah, I know.
actually it was a little longer than a week. But,
Why didn't you bring some of the warm weather back?
I wanted to. It wouldn't fit on the plane. So,
Was it full with all those iPhones?
Was that extra baggage charge?
yeah,
The check bag.
yeah. I had a little nervousness there when you're allowed 50 pounds, and I was like at 49.
Anyways, I'm Brett, and again, no Kevin. He is off traveling again. So maybe we'll put in the comments where Kevin is at, since it's a little game we've been playing. But hey, make sure you give us a like and subscribe wherever you get your YouTube. We like that, so give us a like and subscribe down there. And wherever you get your audio podcasts, we have fun doing this, talking the stories about the craft industry here in the south central part of PA. We are also on the Hopped Up Network. It is a network part of a lot of brewing podcasts that are talking about the same stuff across the country. So check this out on the Hopped Up Network. So Dave just got back from vacation. Ben, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I'm just living life, working hard.
And you're doing e-racing, right?
Yes.
And you do pretty well. And then
Yep.
You're running Central PA Pour in one of your cars.
I am. I am actually running the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series. We are coming up on Bristol this week, and then we are actually off for the next 2 weeks.
Video games. I grew up watching you guys play video games.
I know, and it's crazy what it can be this type of age.
Yeah.
Streaming, online. You don't even get to sit around with a bunch of friends anymore in the same room.
Oh, man. I remember just putting a cartridge in. You had to put the cartridge in to make sure it worked.
Those are the old Ataris.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, hey, we have some great guests in studio. We're going to bring them in here. And we first heard about this from Glenn Smith from Brewery Tours when we had him in studio last. He mentioned about this place. And we were like, what? They have beer? And yes, they have beer. Welcome to the Central PA Pour, Mr. Johnny Roberts.
Hello.
And Dan Ricca.
Thanks for having us.
Isaac's
Craft Kitchen and Brewery.
Craft Kitchen and Brewery.
That's the new name. Actually, we also designed redesigned the logo.
I saw that.
And so the flamingo now has a barley sheaf for his wing.
Oh. So when I first heard about this, I mean, there's an Isaac's here in West York, and to me, it's just a sandwich and deli shop. And when he mentioned that it was a brewery, I was like, wow, a brewery? When did they start getting into brewing?
Well, funny story. We used to do beer pairings way back in the day, and we just found it. Like, we had two bars, actually, going all the way, way back. One in downtown Lancaster and one up in Mechanicsburg. And we just found that the highest sales was always our beer, especially craft beer. And so some of us kept on always pushing for it and pushing for it and pushing for it. And about 2017, because I'd been with the company since 2000, I just decided, like, I need to maybe like explore like another career choice, whatever. At that time, I don't know if I should tell the story. I just was.
Tell it.
Oh, you've already opened the Pandora's box. You're telling it.
I was just working for someone who I just really disliked, and I just basically was trying to like help because they basically brought him into the company, and I just said, like, you know what, put him in charge of menu marketing because I'm the marketing guy for Isaac's, and I was just like, okay, like I can help out, and we just didn't get it. Just did not work, and I was just like to the point where I gotta go. This is like I don't want to like make anyone else like uncomfortable or go, and I'm just gonna be a negative, and so I was like, I taught myself to drink beer at Isaac's just through our food
Is that
pairings.
a skill we have to teach
I know.
ourselves?
Well, I grew up Mormon,
Okay.
which so my parents wouldn't smell the alcohol, I just turned to vodka.
I saw that. I read that. I thought that was an interesting concept.
It is. It was actually, and it worked. They never really they never really smelled it, nothing. But unfortunately, I never got an appreciation for beer. So, fast forward to 2013 when we had our first beer pairing. That we called it the Brew Review, and we had 4 courses that we would pair up with 4 beers. And we used to get we used to get really good craft breweries from across the country, and then starting just to like get centric in South Central PA, and just within like a year or so, I went. And again, it's kind of funny because in wine you usually start with white wine and move to red. In beer, you usually start with like a dark beer and then move to like the lighter ones, like the IPAs. So I just basically changed over to nothing but beer then. So
wow,
but I always had a fondness for porter. So at that point, then like in 2017-ish, like a little bit before that, I just thought like, you know what, Hack has this brewing science program. I'm a marketing guy. I need to know more about. I didn't brew homebrew or anything. I just was like I like beer. Let me just learn how it's made, all that. And so I was preparing just to go and, and just take this course and then leave the company. And then they got rid of the person who was making my life like hellish. And and I never forget, they let him go on a Thursday, and on Friday morning my boss called me in then, and he just was like, because I said, we're going to talk on. I was preparing him to give my month notice, and so I said, "We'll do it on Friday then." So the day before that, when the shit went down, and then I went in to sit down with him, and he's like, "Okay, Johnny, what do you want to talk about?" And I was sort of like, and he goes, "Oh, before we get started, I just want to let you know, blah blah blah, this happened." And I was just like, "Oh," and he goes, "Okay, so what's up?" And I was like. He goes, well, let's start. I heard that you're taking a brewing course at Hack, and I was like, yes. And he goes, what's your purpose with that? And I was like, to start a brewing program for Isaacs. And he goes, good answer. And I was just like, and then we both laughed because I was like, all right. He said, Johnny, we won't let you go. So it's like, I was like, yeah, okay. So we started. I graduated. Like it was 2017. And to 2018 is when I did my internship over at Moo Duck. Alex, our current brewer, actually went in 2019, and he actually did his internship at Moo Duck as well. And then we had another, like an assistant manager who was helping with brewing too. He also went through the program, but he was. Do you remember where Brian? I think Brian. Oh, Brian was up at in Harrisburg with one of my professors who I adored. I'm getting old. Jeff Musselman. That's not right, but it's close to it. Up at right across from Broad Street Market. What's the brewery?
You're. I have no idea.
Oh my God! It'll help me later on, and then I hope to God
he'll blurt it out.
I don't want him.
We'll be in mid conversation.
I don't want him listening. But
Jeff,
it was Jeff Musselman was like the professor, and he was the head brewer at this brewery, Millhouse. Is it Millhouse? Millworks. Millworks. So
okay. That I have
amazing brewer. He's fantastic.
Well,
and
maybe it sounds like you're gonna have to put us in touch.
Well, he actually went over to Evergreen. So he's over there now.
Yeah, we've been efforting Hollis over there too. So
I'll try and hunt him down for you. But again, getting back then, the first brewer with our company was actually in class with me. But Andrew had actually had contacts with all the different breweries, worked over at Tattered Flag. Even I think he did like a little short stint up at Stouts Brewing Company. And he actually, one of our first beers was one of the last beers up at Stouts before they closed. And so we called it like a Phoenix. But we decided we were going to open up in March of 2020. We were all set to go. And then
COVID hit.
So we backed it off until about August. And at that point, Andrew went on to like something else then. And Alex, who was going to just be the assistant brewer, some of my old teachers came down just to help out, like we couldn't have done it without Mood Duck. Mike from Mood Duck came down, helped all of us, and then also Old Forge up in Danville.
Oh wow!
Because Damien and also Justin, Damien's the owner. Justin was the head brewer. They were teachers for the hack brewing program too. That when I went through it, so Justin actually came down and just worked with Alex for 2 months. They just did brew after brew after brew. So just amazing. Our community is fantastic because you won't see that like in other industries.
It is, and we've mentioned that many times that this craft industry, they're not competition. It is a community feel.
We can like be bitchy at one another and stuff. I mean, a little ouchy and stuff. And I just sometimes I joke and just say like sometimes brewers can be like you can be as sometimes just because like they all have. And I can say that because of who I am. But anyhow, it's just like, but at the end of the day, we're all like, I'll defend them. They'll defend me. Like we have each other's back.
That's
and that
good.
we would
That's
have never
good,
gotten off the ground without like
I think it's awesome. You know, I mean, that's where you don't judge a book by its cover because to me, Isaac's was just a sandwich. It was a sandwich shop.
No, for many years. I mean, 1983 is when we started.
And now I'm intrigued. I gotta go. Dan, where do you fall into this storyline?
Well, I started with Isaac's in 2008.
So you've been with them for quite some time.
Yeah, I left a couple times. Always came back. Everybody does.
Was it because of the miserable person that?
No, the first time it was the COVID thing, you know, whatever. But eventually I came back. But anyway, I started in 2008. I think I started managing the pickle bar.
Oh, yeah.
Downtown in like 2009.
A pickle bar.
That's what they called the bar down there.
Pickle bar.
Oh, okay.
Pickle bar, yeah. So I started there. I started managing that bar. It was, 6 taps or something, Miller Lite, blah, blah, blah.
I think it was like 8.
6 or 8.
Yeah.
But anyway, like at that time, there wasn't a ton of places in downtown Lancaster that had craft brew. And I was like, we got to put craft beer on these taps and get the other stuff in bottles because people that drink Miller Lite don't drink it in bottle. They don't need it on tap. So I put craft beer on our 8 taps. I got in trouble for it a little bit at the time, not from Johnny.
I know he had pushback.
Yeah,
Also,
I had some pushback. Yes, but it worked. I mean, there were only a couple places, and I forget the distributor. I got an account with Westies or something. They had Westies.
It was Westies.
Yeah, I heard from other people in the area that they had like some, more rare stuff, I guess, at the time. So I started putting that on there, and
A lot of those breweries are the ones that we actually invited in to do the brew reviews then.
Yeah, how many seats were in that bar, do you think?
There was
Like 15, 12?
Well, I'm just thinking at the bar itself, there was only about like 6 or 8.
We'll say 8, yeah.
And then we had one of the original booths was like right off the bar, and then we had like 3.
So it was really small. But once I started getting that craft beer in there,
starting to pack the house.
I started to get people in on a regular basis,
and then on the patio
to
too,
see
because
what
we had a window to pass.
And
out.
this is the Lancaster location.
Yeah,
because you have Isaac's is not just 1 or 2 locations; it's multiple.
We have
locations.
13.
Yeah, I thought you had about up to 13.
Yeah, but back in the day, we had even more than 2.
21 or 22.
Yeah, it was 21
at one point.
Yeah.
Now Isaac's that's a Pennsylvania thing. From what I've read, it started with 2 gentlemen. One of them was named Isaac.
It was Phil and Isaac. It was Phil Wanger and Isaac William. I always call him Isaacs. It's Isaac Williams.
And it's kind of a Pennsylvania chain, you want to say.
It's only a Pennsylvania chain. We're only in South Central PA.
Oh, that's
And
pretty
how many of the
interesting.
locations are beer worthy?
Right now we have, because Pennsylvania has those wonderful like beer laws that you have for every brewery you can pour at 3 locations. So we have 3 breweries and a nano brewery, and then also we're pouring at 12 of the locations. Now out of those 12 locations, 5 of them have full bars, which to us is 12 taps. They have spirits from Hidden Still, and a couple of other, I think from also down in Philly at Faber. And
it's got to be Pennsylvania because of the liquor laws.
Because of the liquor law, which is actually good though.
It's
To me,
fine.
I love it
it's
because
awesome.
that's like we're doing local. And then our wine is from Grandview Vineyard, and we call them entry level tap rooms, and there's 7 of those. And they have 6 taps. Basically, we have kegerators that we use for it, and they have canned cocktails from Hidden Stills, and then also they pour the Grandview Vineyard wine. So
Sounds like I got to go into. Is York one of the locations?
all 3 York
Yeah.
locations have it.
Well, then I guess I will be making a trip to Isaac's.
Come see me at East York.
It's-
Come see you at East York.
Wait,
yes,
Ooh.
it's
Yeah.
like
I'm working right
since he
over there.
started,
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, come on over.
I guess I like I said, I judged a book by its cover. I was never a big fan of the Isaac's menu, so I
Okay.
never went in.
Fair.
But now you got beer, you intrigued me, and you got me.
Well, when you come over, he's going to make you a mallard, or he's
Yeah.
going to make you a
I was gonna say,
pterodactyl.
Mallards.
Mallard.
what the
top 3.
fuck is a mallard or pterodactyl?
So
Well,
go ahead.
Go ahead,
go.
Dan.
Yeah, no.
All of our sandwiches are named after birds.
Oh, I know that. That I did know.
Yeah, so that's where you get the
Actually,
mallard. The pterodactyl. I mean, I guess that's not technically a bird.
I was going to say that actually
That's
a pterodactyl is
Yeah.
not a bird.
well,
That's just a fun
It's
one.
an extinct bird.
well, actually, and that's why we did it. We had on the original menu and the original flock, we had an Italian sub. We had all the rest had like the bird names or the flower names, but we had this classic Italian sub, and so I think it was like maybe 5 years later or 4 years later, they just changed it over to the pterodactyl because that was a dinosaur. Technically, it's not a dinosaur because I've had little kids tell me that too. That's not a dinosaur. It's like, oh, shut up. But it's just like a kind of like a little joke there.
And it's not really a joke because today's birds
Oh, they're descended
Oh,
from
yeah.
are descendants of
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
the monsters of the dinosaurs. So, well, before we get any further, I'm kind of starting to get a little quenching here.
Okay.
We have a couple beers that we're going to start with. The first one, tell us a little bit about this first one. Now, these are your recipes
Yes.
and your beers that you
Our
guys
beers,
brew.
all
at-
brewed by Alex, and actually we have like a brewer, not an ex-brewer because he's getting ready to open up his own later on. But he's helping us out right now while he's waiting for his to open up. So between the two of them, they travel to 3 breweries and do the beers. But Alex is our primary brewer. He's been with Isaac's God, like I think as long
Probably
as
as long
you.
as I have,
yeah.
yeah.
But the first one is Hartmann's Heroes. It's a classic German Pilsner. It's named.
Crystal clear.
I was just say it looks very light bodied.
It
The
is.
Pilsners are very good.
And it's named after one of our employees who bitched when we first started brewing and stuff because he's like, we need to have a Pilsner. We need to have a Pilsner. We need to have a Pilsner. And Matt Hartman had been with our company forever, and he was also a veteran. So we actually did it kind of in honor of him.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
so because he pushed for the Pilsner, and it's probably our number one seller, I think.
Yeah.
So
Really?
I've mentioned several times that, if I take people that don't drink craft beer, they go after like the Miller Lights and stuff. If I look for a Pilsner for them, and I'm going to tell them it tastes a hell of a lot better than your Miller
Yeah.
Lite. So,
Well,
All
I'm
right.
really bummed because I should have brought Alex just brewed he calls it a Bird
I was
Light.
going to mention that.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but Bird Light, that's
It's-
a perfect.
is it a
really-
Hellas or is it just like a light
It's just
pale?
it's a light lager.
Light lager.
It's a
Yeah.
Pilsner style lager, very light, and it goes down. It's 3.7. It goes down easy.
Wow.
Well, I'll drink the Pilsner over that, so I'm glad you brought
Okay.
this. So, all right, here's to the Hartman's Heroes Pilsner.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers. And to Matt. Yeah, we'll say
Matt
Matt
Hartman.
Hartman.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yes. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, it's good.
That is a very crushable, clean, crisp Pilsner. It has a nice palate, nice flavor profile. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
This is the only one that we have at my location, at least in cans.
Yeah.
When
And
they
actually,
first canned it, we had a little competition between stores so you could sell the most 4-packs of this beer, and I think we won, and I think I probably
drank.
'cause
But,
me.
exactly. But the label was really
I
cool,
bought-
though, too. We actually, we did homage again to,
The label is awesome.
yeah.
So you do canning and self-distribution?
We actually had to use, we went through Springhouse. So
Okay.
we did contract brewing with them to get the cans because they have such a big canning line. Plus Mitch, who's over there, actually was in class with me as well. But Mitch had already been like, oh God, it had how many, like at Boobs, he was at Stouts too. Like he was there with Carol, and he's just amazing. So, and he went with Springhouse.
It has a distinct different flavor though. It's nice. It's distinct, and I can't
the
place
hops.
it.
I can taste a little bit more hops than I'm used to in
Right.
pilsners. That's where I'm going with it. But I could taste the hops. A lot of times you can't taste the hops in the pilsner, and
It gets drowned out. He has the traditional like the Chinook that you would use in it, but he also used Hallertau Blanc, and
right.
that's like another one of my favorite hops.
That's
because-
where that different flavor's coming from is a Hallertau.
Yeah,
the Blanc.
I love that. And it's funny because that hop will like change flavors from where it's grown, like in New Zealand. I usually like the New Zealand one the best, and that's where he gets his.
But it's good because you can get a pilsner everywhere, and they all taste somewhat similar because it's a pilsner. And what we've learned from previous guests is a lighter beer, pilsners and stuff. Actually, it was Mad Chef that said it. You can't hide a fuck up. You're not going to hide a fuck up.
Was that Fran? Was that Chef?
Francisco.
I love it. Yeah,
Francisco.
I adore that man.
Oh, he's awesome. That is a very crushable, seasonal beer. That's a nice pilsner. I would highly recommend that one. So I didn't even know Hack had a brewing.
They did. They actually
program.
ran the class or the program for, I'm going to say 5 years. It's no longer,
Oh,
So it was like just a limited time running class.
well, COVID knocked
Killed
it
it.
out, killed it, and then it just didn't come back after that. I kind of reached out to them and then tried to go over to Millersville and ask them about like starting up a program and stuff. And I just think it's really, it's crucial to get that back in, especially since I sit on the board for the Lancaster County Brewers Guild, and I'm their chair of education, and we're getting a lot more people who are interested that are turning to the brewing industry. And I know everyone says like, like there's so many breweries. It's like, that's bullshit. Back in the day, like we had, I can't even begin to count how many breweries in Lancaster County alone that we were known as the Munich of Americas. And we supported a whole community of like farmers that grew hops, that they had so many hop yards, and then also the barley farms then too. So
yeah. What was it? In 2011, what did we read? It was like 118 craft breweries in PA. Then when this peak hit, we're over 900.
well, it goes back to the day, like how many we have, like nationwide. It was when I was taking the class, and I think it was like right after, like, so it had to be 2018, like right as I graduated from the program. We finally got to the same amount of breweries that existed before Prohibition.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
and think of how many people were living at the time of Prohibition, and how many we have.
Wow.
How many
Yeah.
we have living now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I mean,
We didn't get into the craft industry till after the pandemic,
right.
but I won't ever go back. I mean, this is
Yeah.
this is why we're doing what we're doing. We love doing this.
That's
We
why I
love
put-
telling the stories.
That's why I pushed so hard when I was at that tiny bar trying to get craft brew in there, because I could see it. I could see it blowing up.
Yeah.
I did right
well,
after
it was thanks to you, because that's how we got the brew reviews then, and we got those breweries in.
Yeah, and I
Dan
think
was a visionary. You're a visionary.
Still
I think it's awesome.
Okay, is a visionary.
Like I said, I had a preconceived idea of what Isaac's was. It wasn't a favorite spot of mine, so I didn't go. But now I'm going to go.
Oh, you have to try
Yeah,
our
you're
fries
gonna
then
love
too. That's the other mine. Oh, and our house-made chips.
we have the best
we're all
fries.
like,
Bring some with
You
you?
can talk about the food. I'm coming for the fucking beer.
yeah, but you're gonna pair that
Whoa.
fucking
Gotta
beer
pair
with the fucking food.
That's a future episode.
Yeah.
It is a future episode.
We'll be there for that. We should have like the whole like have get several like breweries in, just like have like we'll.
Oh no,
somewhere.
we're gonna pair your food with
Oh,
your beer.
okay,
We're
good.
gonna
Just
There
be
we
a
go.
spotlight.
Yeah, that's
We're
Well, see, I
Yes.
was trying to be like again that whole community building.
No, I mean that's cool
Yeah.
too. But
We're coming
no.
to
Yeah,
your
we're gonna leave those
location.
we'll do
bitches
that
in
for
the dust.
the third episode.
Yeah.
Actually-
we'll come to your location, and then we'll let you guys cook the food, and then present it, because we'll present it for you right on the.
Yeah, we're going to talk
Podcast.
about why you picked this beer with that food. That's part.
Right.
That's part of
part
what
of
we're
it.
trying to
Yeah,
get
I love
going
that.
as
It's
well.
the flavor
Absolutely.
profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking like we ran those brew reviews, brew reviews from 2013 till 2017 or 18.
I think that's awesome.
And so I have menus out the gazage for those.
So we'll pair the pterodactyl
Oh,
with something.
pterodactyl would probably go really good with like an IPA.
I was
Definitely.
just going to say
Yeah.
that, because if it's an
Yeah,
Italian sub
that
with all that
spiciness, yeah.
Italian stuff, an IPA would offset that. And it depends on
But the
IPA.
pepper jack actually also goes great with IPAs too, or pepper jack tomato. I
Wait.
mean, it just balances out the flavors, like the.
Well, before you guys leave here from this episode, we will come up with a date.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
What else you got going on? So you have you got multi locations.
Yep.
It started in Lancaster.
It did. Downtown Lancaster. The original location was in the Lancaster Central Marketplace.
1983, right?
Yeah, 1983 was
wow.
and that's basically like it was a combination of shops and then apartments on top of it. It was a cool spot, but we quickly outgrew it. Then we moved up to the in 2003 we moved over to the Fulton Bank building. It was 2003, right?
Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about the history of how Isaac started. Do you know that
Oh.
story?
I've been telling it for years.
Oh, so you got this memorized.
Oh, I do. It's almost like I'm kind of like the museum keeper anymore because I've been like, it's almost like the Hunger Games. I've
Glad
been
I'm here for
there.
this because I
been
get
there.
like a lot of questions about that from my employees, and I guess I know a little bit, but now,
All right.
Dan, do you
now I
want
can
do you want a
really give
notepad
them-
and pen so you can take notes?
Now I'll take notes on
So you're the
when
intern.
this comes out.
He's the learner. Anyhow, Phil Wanger was the primary person driving it, but Isaac Williams was also his partner in this. They wanted to start a sandwich shop, but they were also Phil. They were both Mennonite, but Phil actually grew up the son of a minister, a Mennonite minister, and actually they were missionaries, and so he spent like a great deal of his childhood and into early youth over in Ethiopia. And so he went to Mennonite University, and that's where he'd like talked, and they used to go to this, amongst each other about bettering the world and wanting to social consciousness, like taking care of the community, all of that being like a shepherd of the community, just taking care of everyone, no matter who you were. And so that's how he started Isaac's actually. And so to honor his father, helped give him the money to start it. And so his father used to take him and the family when they were in Ethiopia out birding because that's what they, there's not really much else to do. And so they decided that they would name the sandwiches after birds, the ones with meat, and then the plants and flowers for the vegetarian ones.
Did they flip a coin for the name since it was two
No,
guys?
they went actually through the Audubon, the Audubon book, the James Audubon, and just picked. Ooh, that sounds like a fun name.
No, but I'm talking about for the name of the restaurant. Since it was
Oh,
two
no.
partners, did they flip a coin for
No.
I
his?
always wondered
it was-
that, actually.
Well, no, it was just Isaac because it was like Isaac's, like, because it just sounded kind of like deli-ish.
Yeah.
Like it was like Isaac's,
Instead
like
of
it kind of
Phil's.
like right there. You got like some street cred already out the gate. So, and funny story, Isaac was only with the company for 2 months, and then he flew the coop, as we always say, and went up to Alaska.
That's
And-
what I heard,
and
I
that
thought
was
it was
true.
Just a rumor.
Nope.
Huh.
He was up there for a while. Then he came back to Virginia, and but Phil, being the smart businessman that he just was like, "No, we're gonna keep it Isaac's." I mean, because it's just like because
It
Phil's.
rolls off the tongue.
Oh yeah, everyone's
Yes.
like, "Why you name it Phil?" And he's like, and Phil's so not that kind of a guy, anyhow. So it's like he just was like, "No, this is a great name." they love the whole counterculture thing, and that's why like we have a flamingo from John Waters' Pink Flamingos, and yeah, the whole like I actually became a fan of Isaac's. I moved to the area in 1990, and I opened the Gap over at the Gap Galleria or the Galleria Mall, and East York Isaac's was the first place that I would go to get lunch. And then I was working for an advertising agency in Lancaster, and my office was right around just literally doors up from the downtown Lancaster one. So I would hang out there, and then I had.
And here you are.
I know. So I was like, I actually got to drive out to, because I was dating someone who actually was friends with the owners and managers of Isaac's, and actually drove out to Indiana, Pennsylvania, where we had a Isaac out there too. So
No, I didn't know that.
yeah. So there, that's why like if you ever want to ask me about the store numbers, I'll fill in like the ones that are gone now.
I always wondered that actually.
That was number 3.
I think it's I think it's cool because normally when you think of a chain, you're thinking nationwide chain. This is a regional.
Oh, we're
chain.
talking the way that Indiana opened. It was there was employees back here in Lancaster that they were going out to college, and then they stayed out there, but they just wanted to have an Isaac's because they just missed it, and they asked Phil if they could open one out there, and he said sure. So
That's awesome.
So I always say like because Phil again like his very philanthropic, or whatever that word is, but I always say yes. I said you can't have.
What'd you say, Dave?
Down
It's philanthropic.
is it tropic or
Tropic.
or thropic? All right,
Well,
whatever.
I tell you
No,
what,
don't throw a pick. That hurts.
what?
Don't throw a pick. That hurts.
Don't throw a pick. That hurts.
Philanthropic, whatever.
I was going to check the thesaurus.
We'll check that thesaurus on it.
Which
Which is
Like I was saying, like-
another dinosaur. I'm just saying.
yeah.
But again, so that's the history. That's how we got started.
That's awesome.
Phil, like he was the first in a lot of different things. Just like he and David Lees actually started the whole the AIDS Coalition, where they did a cookbook. They were raising money, creating awareness, all that stuff for it. So they were always reaching out, making sure that the communities were taken care of. That was always one of the pillars of Isaac's.
I think that's a pillar should be of any independent business. Become part of your community.
Absolutely.
That's where you
Yeah.
establish yourself.
Well, a healthy community means healthy businesses, and it's a very symbiotic relationship on that. So
I just went through and read our mission and value statement and our vision statements that for my business that my parents developed, and I'm like, you know what? They need rewritten, and I just rewrote them today
oh wow.
with the help of ChatGPT.
Hell yeah.
God, is that amazing?
Write me a vision statement.
I just had 2 commercials that I plugged all the info in and just said oh, make me a commercial or something like that, and it did, and it was so good, and it's this tagline, and I can't wait to unveil just because I was like, wow. And then I here's me, because this is my personality. I was just like, thank you for making this. This was wonderful.
And then it rewrites something.
Well, I just said I go, can you make me another video? And it said, oh well, thank you for appreciating my work.
Oh, wow.
give
So
me
it actually replied back
it
to
did.
your
It
thank
said-
you.
And it said, give me a few moments and I will I'll give you something a little bit different. And then it gave me a second wonderful, fantastic commercial as well. So those I actually talked to a videographer today, so that it'll probably be rolling out in August.
So you're doing commercials. Are you the marketing?
I'm
You're
the
doing-
marketing guy.
You're
Yep.
the marketing.
I do it all. We have it all in house.
And you run,
I run East York.
you're the manager of a store,
Yes.
of a restaurant part of it. And you have 13 right now, you said?
13 locations. We're in Berks County,
Wow.
Lebanon County, Lancaster, York, and Dauphin. Cumberland. Used to be a Dauphin.
Uh-oh.
Edit.
Edit that one. Cut that from
I'll do with that what I did with Jason from Aldis when we drank his IPA. He said, I can't be seen drinking this. So
right.
in the post edit, I took a smiley face and kind of followed
Put
him
it all
around.
over.
Nice.
By the way, it's philanthropic.
Okay, you're right,
Philanthropic.
Dave.
It took you that
You
long.
were just in Arizona, not the tropics.
He
It
wishes.
felt like the tropics out there. couple of days it was kind of warm.
No, out in Arizona, it's really warm out there.
And it's dry.
Just a bunch of cracks in the ground.
Yeah, I didn't realize how dry it was until I noticed that in the evening I was drinking a lot
Beer?
of water. No,
That's what I thought I was going to say too.
beer is
Beer water.
It's beer
That's what it
water.
was.
That's a filter.
beer
It's
is a diuretic.
No.
And you can't and if you're thirsty, you don't want to drink that. But I drank a lot of water.
I know when we go out to eat, and they'll say, "You want water?" I'm like, "Nope, it's right there in my beer. We're good."
It's got water in it. I mean.
So, what'd you think of the Irish Red?
I think it's great, actually. I think
Oh
I'm
yeah, it was
gonna
delicious.
Get some more of that.
My
Yeah, actually, I
Aaron,
thought you did already. You like
I
had a
did.
second.
It's-
I'm talking about thirds.
There he goes.
Aaron
no,
Go
it's good.
Braless. Actually, this is the first recipe I think I developed.
Aaron Go Braless.
Aaron Go Braless.
Yeah,
That name, I wanted to pay patron homage to Aaron Go Bra,
No.
Irish, and my wife at a bike event. I bought her a T-shirt, a flip T-shirt that had silkscreen boobies underneath it, so she didn't have to get her titties out. Even though I was trying to get her titties out.
What,
But
just because you wanted beads or what?
I wanted her to get her titties out.
Okay.
But the shirt said Aaron Go Braless.
I'm looking at your face right now.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm still waiting for a nice Irish redhead to pose for the
yeah.
can art.
of course I get to take the pictures.
Of course,
I loved it. It's real. It's
You'll hold
super
the
drinkable.
camera. as
I'm
we
sure you
always
can
say
get AI
I'll
to do
hold the
that, too.
camera.
I'll hold the camera.
Maybe Chat GPT can do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Actually, not Chat
Uh-oh.
GPT. You could go with Bing.
Bing.
Bing? Really?
Their creation. You can like type in now. They won't do anything obviously pornographic, but you can you can get
Close enough?
I've never used it for that.
I
but-
got a vivid imagination.
I
But
didn't
actually,
realize.
then Photoshop and Illustrator both have like
Yeah.
beta programs out where they have like where you can actually put something in and say like, give me something like this then.
Yeah.
So
Oh man,
Photoshop and Lightroom, both of them.
AI is getting scary.
it is.
Definitely
It's
is.
getting scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, the video ones is the thing that like really like I just ugh.
So what is some of the? I mean, we met Dan at the Winter Brew Fest, and he come up. He said, I want to talk to you guys." I'm like, "Yes, I want to talk to you too." And like I said, we first heard about it through brewery tours.
Yeah, Glenn Smith, adore the man.
And I'm like, when he goes in here, he's talking about. I'm like, Isaac's has beer. What the hell's that? He's on. He's like, I got good beer. After having that Pilsner, I can see why. So, are you the only brewer then, Johnny? Or
No, I actually like I don't really like I brew, but like it's more fun brewing for me. It's like brewing with training wheels. So like Alex like let me come down and help brew with the Uncle Johnny's porter that we'll be trying.
So these are
Alex Painter.
all right. So
Alex
these are
Painter.
kind
He's
of
awesome.
combination like collab recipes, or do you come up with recipes?
No, Alex does. He comes up with most of them. Now,
Okay.
like I said, he took the Uncle Johnny's porter and then just tweaked it. And he kept on always asking me, like, do you mind if I do this to it? Do you mind if I do this to it? And I'm like, sure. Like, do what I mean, you're amazing. So just do it. So, but then, but he comes up with the recipes. And then Brian had come up with a few of the recipes too. But it's predominantly Alex. Like, he's just,
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah. And you can tell him like Alex, I want to have this, and then like he'll like, all right, and then he'll just work on it, and then all of a sudden, like 6 months later, he'll be like, Johnny, there's that beer, and I was like, okay,
Well, speaking of beer, we have another one sitting here, and this is the Queen Street Fuego.
fuego. It means fire. In
I
Fuego.
was gonna say, is it hot? Does it give me a kick in the end?
Well, it's
That would
kind of
be
like
interesting if they did
we want to
that.
get a little spicy.
Well,
So
can
tell
you
us.
mix beer with habaneros?
Oh yeah, you
No,
can.
well, yeah, you can. Ooh, like a mango habanero. That's like a pot. Like Zero Day has a really
Zero Day
excellent-
has a
Oh,
good
There we
mango
go.
hop.
Oh, and also, well, I think Mike does a mango habanero too up at Moo Duck too. So
Mike puts out some good shit.
he puts out amazing shit.
We need to get up
I
and
haven't
get.
had their stuff yet. I got to get up there.
We need to get with Mike because he's doing like hot dog and chili dog stuff, and
Oh,
That's
we've
awesome.
been beyond that. We're doing we actually have hot hoagies. We have pizzas. We have great pizzas. We have a Tom's crust that
Now
we
you
use
say
in
we.
flatbreads. Huh?
You say we
We.
for Moo Duck.
Oh, well, again, I've been with them since 2000.
I don't know if you mentioned that you.
I'm
So
sorry.
you float is what you're getting at.
Well, no, I just worked there. When I completed my internship, I just decided to stay on just to work on the weekends because then Mike also he'll be like, hey Johnny, like you want to do this, like help out or we have these employee tap takeovers that we actually brew our beers for, and then I just like the one I just did. It's like, hey Foster's, let's go bananas. I did one with Pawpaw and Black Locust Honey. It was an hazy IPA. I was trying to get this whole new trend. Like, you have hazy IPAs and you have West Coast IPAs. And I wanted to have a Susquehanna IPA because I think we need to have one. So, but anyhow, that's why I stayed. I've been there. I just worked the weekend. So it's just like it's extra cash and it's,
Note to Johnny. We're promoting Isaac's tonight.
I know. I'm stopping now. You were the
sorry,
one that got me started.
I didn't want anyone to be confused.
Dan was
You
like-
kept saying we.
All right.
Stop.
Anyhow, another reason for the Fuego, for the Queen Street Fuego, obviously the first location was on Queen Street in Lancaster, and the current downtown Lancaster is still on Queen Street. But the Fuego comes from one of the hops is Azaka, and Azaka is the fire god in Haitian voodoo.
Yeah.
So, but it's a really interesting hop.
I think that's cool. I mean, the names and stuff that they come
Yeah.
up with. And, just like when we're naming our beers, I'm trying to come up with old English style names.
Well, I don't know. The Arangobralis that's
Yeah.
classic.
He also came up with the one called Nuts to Butts.
That was a Kit.
Wow.
That was a Kit Brown Ale.
And
I don't know if that. I don't think that tops still like the peak
We
of the
didn't-
Johnny.
we didn't name it.
yeah, I was
sounds like
against
we're
it like
tasting.
right out the gate. No, we're not doing that.
So tell us, what style is this one?
It's
Is
an
it
IPA. Yep.
All right. So here's to the Queen Street Fuego.
Cheers.
Cheers. You know
That is
what?
good.
And you'll get that right at the.
What did you just say, Dave?
Did Dave like a hoppy beer?
It's not very hoppy, but
It's not very hoppy.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It is
mild.
good though.
You get it right at the
Yeah.
back.
all right. I will tell you, Dave is the IPA
No,
connoisseur.
no, I'm not.
No, connoisseur.
Sewer.
He don't like IPA.
He's an IPA-ter.
Yeah, he's an IPA-ter.
IPA-ter.
I'm an IP hater. I
But-
like that.
So when he said this
that's
is
gonna be a
good, I'm
shirt.
like,
Feel free
what?
to take it.
What did you
Run
just
with
say,
it.
Dave?
yeah, this is pretty good.
This is good.
I am the big thing that I don't like about IPAs is when they're double and triple hopped.
Oh God, yeah. No,
and they just these guys come in here and wide eyed and this has great hop he tastes and no.
I think
So-
you have to try and balance that like the hops.
Yes.
with
I
I was
your
going to
malt.
say,
Taste balanced.
what
So-
style would you call this? Because it's not a hazy, and it's not as hoppy as a West Coast. This is.
He still calls it a West Coast IPA though.
I would call this a Susquehanna.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Susquehanna has to be hazy. I'm sorry.
Has to be hazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Why?
New England.
No.
Why
No,
do
no.
you say that?
The reason I say is because like the
river?
Susquehanna River.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say.
Now to keep my fans straight, fans.
That's pretty good. I'm going to drink more of that.
Dave, I'm already a fan. So.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
That's two followings.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop it.
But I've been talking about I don't like IPAs, particularly because of the hoppiness. But I have enjoyed some of the IPAs.
Yes, you have. Your palate is opened up,
that
just like mine.
we've had on our show, and this is one of them.
That is very
Oh,
good.
thank you.
I think it's very
Well,
good.
let Alex know that.
Yeah, that is. I would not call that a West Coast because
And
with
let me
to
make
me,
sure, like I'm going to look
Kind
at
of
the.
mild.
to me,
more
it's
mild
mild.
for-
to
yeah.
me, a West Coast, you're going to get a lot of.
Well, here's what he
upfront
says.
hops.
Here's the description.
Okay,
Our take on the classic dry finishing bitter West Coast IPA.
it does finish dry.
And he said,
That
hop
does.
lovers look no further. Brewed with American two-row, hopped in the kettle, and then heavily dry hopped in the fermenter with Azaka, Cascade, and Idaho number 7. Which I,
I
love
think
Idaho
between
number
the
7, so-
Zaka and the Idaho,
Yeah.
it subtles that out. You're not getting that pine, grapefruit notes out of
Yeah.
the West Coast
Gosh,
hop.
cat piss.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like you're chewing on a pine cone.
Yep.
For sure.
All right.
All right,
Back to beer.
Back to
Yes.
beer. Actually, we're coming
Back
up
to
to Cinco de
Isaac's.
Mayo. You know, it's
Oh
kind of
yeah, it is. I mean, here we
It's
are.
like we're in
April.
May. I mean, April.
No,
but
no.
it's like,
We've just got into April.
it's the 9th already.
All right.
Tomorrow's
I know.
the
Don't
10th.
rush.
Actually, it's April already. Where the hell did 2025 go?
Yeah,
I
seriously.
mean, we're a
It's
quarter of the way
already-
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
But it
talking
has been
like
windy.
I have two standard
This weather's
poodles,
annoying me.
Fritz and Franzi just turned 9. So I had a birthday party for him on Sunday.
You didn't invite me.
Oh, I know, but it's like when I know that's how I know that spring is really rushing. It's like, dude, like,
Did you give them beer in a bowl instead of water?
no.
Oh,
Actually, he had the biggest beef, which is we cook off an eye round like roast, a loin, so they eat on that all throughout the week, and then they have what we call poodle noodles that I make with egg noodles and
Poodle
cheese
noodles.
and all sorts of
Ooh.
good stuff, and then I bought a cake from Bassett and Lab over in Lancaster, which was I was doing a marketing drop, and I just saw this cake. I was like, oh my god, this is a sign. I need to get it. So, and he loved it. Seriously, they know when I come in with the balloons that it's a birthday. Like him and Fritz, but like Fritzy turned 14 back in November.
Wow.
And they're the big ones, the standard. So that's pretty good for them. So
Are they they're poodles?
they're poodles. They're standard poodles. That's why I say, like, when people say, like, Johnny, do you have kids? It's like, bitch, please. I've got standards.
Standards.
I've got standards.
I like that. I have standards.
I've got standards. Poodles,
Yeah.
but standard poodles. All
So
right, so Cinco de Mayo. This
Yes.
is our Mexican lager. It's a Flamengo del Sol is what
All
we
right.
call it.
we'll go right into it.
Wow. That was
So we'll go right into
smooth
it.
transition.
I think we ought to make him the
Transition.
host.
It was.
That was so
Yeah.
So the Flamingo, what's it called?
Flamengo del Sol.
Del Sol. So it's
We
Mexican
have a
lager.
really cool logo for it. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
one that I had the
it's
T-shirt. Yeah, I should have worn the T-shirt, but
It's good and light.
It is light.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
good
waiting
and
for
light.
some of that lime citrusy notes that would come through.
he doesn't use any lime in it.
I'm not getting it. So
He uses sea salt, and he had it's 25% of the corn.
Oh.
that's where the smoothness comes from. Is from the
Exactly.
corn.
It's more of a bitch to actually the more corn you put in. I mean, you're and why can't I think tonight?
I think you're thinking pretty good, actually.
That's another.
Your efficiency
I don't know,
goes down.
What did Josh Divers call it? A bathroom beer
Oh, bad.
What?
or shower
There
beer?
we go.
Shower
Shower
beer.
beer.
A shower beer.
Yes.
Shower beers.
Because
forgot
everybody
about shower
talks about
beers.
lawnmower
Yeah.
beers, and when we had Josh from Seven Sirens on, he talked about a shower beer. I'm like, what do you mean?
My God, that Josh.
And he's like, it's a beer I can drink in the shower. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you got, a fucking tap in the shower? He says, maybe.
He's
Might as
fallen
well.
asleep in his shower. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Have you had a shower beer? Have you had
Oh,
a beer in the
my.
shower? Actually, I feel like it's more refreshing in there.
What?
I don't know.
I take
That
a-
I can say I've never done. I've
No,
never had a
you have-
shower
Yeah,
beer.
you gotta have a
it
shower
feels
beer.
more relaxing. The shower, and after a long, stressful day,
Yeah.
you just
Now, when I
crack
brought this,
open
not
one.
just because of. Oh, I'm sorry, Brett. I just cut you off.
you're
No,
There we
this
go.
is actually very good. It's light, smooth, and that's where the maize comes from.
Yep. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
Maize.
crystal clear. That is a crystal clear beer. Go ahead, Ben. You were talking.
No, I honestly forget now.
No, that's why I said I was looking at. Then I called you Brett on top
You
of
cut-
it. Ben.
yes.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That way you were doing.
I was going.
Dave's doing the hand
I'm going
gestures
like
over
this-
here. I'm just like
this
going
is
like,
Brett here.
Dave, what are you?
There's so much going on now.
I've been called worse.
You know, this is the one I was drinking when I did the podcast at that beer fest with you, and right before that, I was like, I never did a podcast. Give me a
Now
give-
think of
and
drinking this with-
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I chugged one of those right before I had. To.
Oh, he did, and he told
I
me
was
he
all
did that. He
nervous.
goes, Johnny, I drank like a drink a whole pint before I went over. He's like, that's fine. It's like you got to do what you got to do.
So
I had to.
at the beer fest, how many beers did you have down here?
3.
We had 3. Yeah, we had
Yep.
3. Yep.
And how did it go? I mean, what was your reaction from the crowd?
The same the same thing we've been talking about, where people
Isaacs?
are like, Isaacs,
The
what?"
same Isaacs that make
But
sandwiches.
as far as
Yes,
the
same
reaction
flocking
to drinking
Isaac.
the beer, I mean, I think it was definitely a positive reaction. Everybody loved it.
I will tell you that the 3 that we've had here already, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't. I've never ventured in, but I will be venturing from here on out.
This one with tacos or like enchilada, like anything like you do, these are they're amazing.
Oh, I could see pairing this with a good taco with a little bit of a hot sauce in it, and this settles out that hot sauce.
Or a tamale too, because that's where you're getting more of the corn in the tamale then, and then you have this with it. It's just like like you could down a whole bunch. You could down a bag of tortilla chips with it.
Because this is saying 5%, and that's still a couple of them. You got a little bit of a light buzz.
But you could still mow the yard.
Don't
Take a shower.
Or drink in the shower.
Make like
Hey,
a,
I've seen him on my tractor, and I love.
And I was sober.
and he was sober. I wanted to see him on there after 3 or 4 of those.
I can't do a 0-turn tractor. I need a steering wheel.
Oh, I do too. Those things like they
So
Yeah.
mine was broke, and I needed to mow my grass. Dave said, "Borrow mine."
You haven't played enough video games.
Now you also
even
got
in a video game. You're not doing this shit, are you?
Have you played Wii?
I don't know. I think the 0-turns are kind of nice. I don't,
Oh,
I don't have
course
one.
you do.
if
I
you
don't
can
need one.
understand how to
But I've
operate
done
it.
it, and I'm like, oh man.
I see guys just go,
It does feel like a video game though, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
It's like you're playing Wii.
yeah.
but I
Controllers.
can't drive
I thought at
one
first,
straight
I
worth
thought
of
Ben
shit.
said weed. It's like you're playing. Have you ever played weed? It's like I don't play with weed. Is that what you kids call it nowadays?
Are you trying to say I'm young? I'm 30 over here. I hit that old mark.
He's
You
not
look
good.
12,
Thank you.
but I knew that
Well,
you
with the
were. I knew
beard.
you had to be 21 at least just for drinking. But
Oh my, we went downhill.
Yeah.
well, that's we're on our third beer. Is
Was
that
this
like
a beer podcast, right? I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
exactly? We're
Okay,
allowed
I was
to like.
making sure
we're
we
allowed
were
to
on
get
the
away
beer
with.
Just wanted to check.
We're allowed to get away with so much more shit with beer. than
Yeah,
we
oh
are
yeah,
with
absolutely.
If I was just sandwiches, I could never say half the shit I've been saying tonight, right?
Yeah.
But
I think
I'm
that's-
kind of
yeah,
looking
absolutely.
forward to
Yeah.
this food pairing we're going to do with
Yeah.
them. I mean,
Yes.
the different styles of sandwiches and stuff we're talking about, and you've already been down this road from even before this shit was a thing. You guys have been doing it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of like us always.
I think
mean,
a lot of
pretzel sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna bring that up right now. We were the first to ever have a pretzel sandwich.
Are you?
Yeah,
Really?
1992
Wow.
or 93. It didn't hit the menu till 94, but we got Doug Hoffman, the general manager at East York, got a flat of soft pretzels in from Philly when we had the bread delivery coming from there, and the guy just said like, "Hey, it's my last stop. Just take these off my hands." I
Why
said,
the hell didn't he just get them from Schmitty's here in Dover?
Hello, that's where we went to them because, and
Okay.
I don't think they weren't making pretzel rolls at that
No, they
time.
weren't because it was
They
either
were just pretzels,
It was
but-
just a pretzel. They weren't
But
even doing
David
sticks
Lee,
back
see,
then.
I'm saying David Lee's went to them and said like, hey, like, because they were like Doug made up sandwiches with these pretzels, the Philadelphia pretzels, and they made them for his staff. He did the Salty Eagle because it was ham and Swiss cheese and mustard, and the staff loved it. And then he started getting him in because as a treat for his staff. But then the staff started telling customers, and the customers wanted to try it, and then they went gaga over it. So he started to get more in. But basically like a Philly South Philly pretzel. Soft pretzel after 2 days is basically as hard as a wedding prick. So it's just like so.
Yep.
And so then that's where David said, like, all right, we need to find something because this is a great idea. And so they went to Schmitty's and that's our first
pretzels and
pretzel
beer
rolls from
is
them.
like
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a great combination.
It's such a good combination. So pretzel sandwiches and beer.
Oh, I know,
you
it's
can't
a
go wrong with
natch.
that.
Such
it
a-
is, and that's the saltiness of a soft pretzel is going to want to make you drink a little bit more.
I want
And then you
one
also
right
have the sweetness and the
Oh, yeah.
so there's so many flavors going on with a pretzel sandwich with a pretzel roll.
Well, I feel like we're going to that SNL skit we were talking about.
Oh, we are? No, not
Beers
yet.
and pretzels.
Yeah, but we're not like doing any double entendres as we're talking.
Speaking of SNL, did you guys watch the 50th anniversary?
I didn't.
I did.
didn't get to.
I
That's kind of disappointing.
I didn't understand some of the skits that they picked, and then there were some I'm glad that they did. Like I loved, like I got immediately like when they were doing the Brooklyn talk with the girls.
Oh my God, that's
and
hilarious.
then when Mike Myers comes in as Linda Richardson, and she goes, "Did something like it's like blah blah blah." Like, but that was like when they were doing coffee talk. And
You said it like that.
I know you had to
Coffee
say it
talk.
that way. Coffee talk, and Barbara Streisand surprised them.
I
Like,
remember
she walked
that.
in, and I was just like going, "Oh my God, that was such a great throwback!" But
I was never a big SNL fan, so I didn't watch it a lot.
well, there was so many characters over the years that like I just kind of just gravitated towards, like Ned Grimley, like Martin Short's character. I must say,
The church lady,
and the church
the
lady,
church lady was, and
and all of Will Ferrell's characters. I mean, my
but,
God,
but we
Everyone.
anything Eddie Murphy did
Eddie
was
Murphy, Will
I'm Gumby,
Ferrell,
damn it.
huh?
I'm Gumby.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
And Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Mr. Robinson's
Mr. Robinson.
Mr. Robinson's neighborhood.
But I watched it. It was good. It was all right. I like
Actually, the concert was excellent. Like
The-
when they
the-
did the concert,
I didn't see that.
It was the weekend before.
Yeah, the music side
music
of
one.
yes,
was
that was
like
phenomenal.
way back, like that whole and they did skits throughout it then
Yeah.
too. So that was cool. But yeah, there was just. But again, like how do you take all of the like think how many years? 50 years.
50 years.
All of the characters that got
Yeah.
created during that time frame. Like in a van down by the
man, I
river.
gotta-
Just.
I have to watch this.
Now he's
Oh, and the,
I've always
the other
been a
one, the
fan of
Gap
SNL.
Girls said too. Oh my God, just such a. Such a.
The only bit I caught from the 50th anniversary was the Aliens bit with Meryl
Oh,
Streep.
that was
that
that
one.
was freaking amazing.
That was
That was the best
hilarious.
because they took the regular skit, which is already like hysterically funny, and took it up a notch. I mean, with Meryl Streep on it. I mean, come on.
I remember the
What did she
interview
say
with,
about being like sometimes it's good to like a good mother can be bad.
Yeah. What was that Pedro Pascal? He's like, ooh, I like to be a bad woman.
Oh, and then also just the where they do the wedding song, like where they keep on saying like, she's thinking about Domingo. All right.
I like the piece of trivia here. Who was the first guest host?
Paul Simon?
No. Wait. No.
Why did I say Paul Simon?
I was gonna say Dave is the
I feel like Paul Simon might have been the most. I don't know.
Well, no, he played like actually he was on like one of the original like in the first season he played. Wait, no. George Carlin.
You got it.
Oh.
George
Yes,
Carlin.
I knew it was going to come to me.
Yeah.
Carlin was the first.
He was.
guest
He did a
host?
he,
He
did
was
a
the first
stand
guest
up
host.
like like he did a whole stand up skit for his.
Oh, I have to go back and
He was a
research. I'll have to
genius.
YouTube
you
that.
Yeah. Just go back to the first episode.
Yeah, but they didn't even do like where they had the land shark. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, the land shark. That was a great
Land
skit.
shark.
Candygram.
Jehovah Witness.
That was a great skit.
And I don't think they did the what was the one about where the mom the Noonans or whatever like Wendy Weiner.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I like the one with
Weiner.
Jimmy Fallon and Rolling Stone, man. I mean,
Oh, when he's talking to him
in the mirror.
Oh,
In the
that
mirror. And that wasn't even supposed to happen because he wasn't sure it was. He would go for it.
Oh, that's true.
They talked, and he's like, "Well, if you can get him to do it, do it." And Jimmy convinced him to do it, and he did it, and it wound up being funny as hell.
But then also like Gilda Radner, like her character.
I
came-
mean, you're talking some of
Rosanna
Dana.
Dana.
you're
It's
talking
like
some
my
of the
mama
original
always told me.
characters. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Do you
But
know
then
she,
I loved it when she's the little girl and she's just like playing around like on the bed. She's jumping up and down and she's just like she like does the thing where she puts the shirt over her head and she pretended it was like long hair and stuff like that. She captured so many characters and then just her when she did like the singer, like the rock singer, like where she sings a song, "Gimme Mick, Gimme Mick, Gimme Mick."
That's kind of when I stopped watching SNL is with the original cast and stuff.
yeah.
He was a purist.
I am.
Every time there's a new
How
cast,
old
it
were
takes
you?
me a minute. I'm like, oh god, this sucks.
But
And
you
then,
stopped
like,
watching when you were like
if
9
you keep
years
watching
old
it,
or 10 years old.
catch
You
on.
can't be
Hey,
like you're
I'm as old as you
like-
are.
How old are you?
56.
Okay, you're just a little bit behind me. I thought you were younger than I was like, how the hell were you watching
What
that?
do I look fucking 12?
No, you don't look fucking 12.
With that low-
I can see life has etched its mark on you, okay?
I had 3 boys. This is the middle.
All right,
one.
that would give me gray hair
I
and
was
lose my
gonna say.
hair then, too. So,
Well, yeah, we pretty much pulled it all out.
there you go.
Yeah. So, future of what you think, I mean, what's the future plans here with you guys?
SNL podcast.
SNL
SNL
podcast?
Reenacting.
Start
We
your
could do that one. Again, we're constantly you constantly have to evolve. So like I remember we were like just simple stuff like chips. Like I mean we had Bickles chips before Bickles. There was another one, but then
Pickles was the local York one, right?
Bickles I thought was up in Mannheim.
All right, which one was out of York?
Well, we took Utz.
Utz is out of York.
Right, but that's out of
It's
Hanover.
a Hanover,
Right, but
actually.
it's still York County. But that's who we went to then. And then after them, we went to Diffenbach's up in Lebanon County.
Okay.
And I said that with too many syllables. It's Lebanon.
Lebanon.
But,
Lebanon.
Lebanon. But now our next step, we're doing house-made chips. And even like dialing that back, we also came in with the option of having French fries, which like everyone
Our fries
thought
are
our fries
the
are
best fries
fucking legit,
in
man.
my opinion.
They are.
in the area. Like,
So is there an
Ever.
R&D department for Isaacs that comes up with this, or is it? Are you
It's-
taking ideas from employees or staff?
It's a combination.
Yeah, definitely a
Yeah,
combination.
definitely a combination. We have a general manager, myself, the 2 SMs, the senior managers. The president of the company is hands-on.
That's cool that you hear the president's hands-on.
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah. It's
Constantly like throwing ideas. I mean, like where we have to shoot them down sometimes.
yeah,
but
so
again,
many.
Yeah.
No idea is a bad idea, really. I mean,
We just have to test it. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
again, like I mean, smoked meats. You'll probably see that at some point. You'll
As long as it's not a smoked lager. Snitch
not a
Creek.
fan.
Snitch Creek, Lebanon, Bologna. one.
Lebanon bologna.
Ugh.
And when we had Ryan on here, I was skeptical to ask him, and he's like, yeah, but it has a niche, so we brew it
Yep.
every year.
It does.
I had a hard time choking that one down.
Sounds
It tasted like liquid bologna.
Liquid bologna.
liquid bologna.
Without the
Liquid
cheese and cracker.
bologna without a a charcuterie.
What did I just see? You talk about charcuterie. I just saw a meme. Charcuterie board is nothing like an adult Lunchable.
Pretty much. Yes,
Absolutely,
exactly.
yeah.
That's it. That says,
Yeah,
that says
for
it.
sure.
But again, like that's where you got to try new things.
Yeah.
Because and next gradual step probably like distillery. Like I could see that in our future. Just yeah.
So when you come up with these ideas, do you pick a test site
We're testing out
and
the-
rotate it around to the different stores?
We do. Like the house-made chips, we did that.
Yeah.
We started off at 2, then we moved it to 4. And we like have like our locations that we like to do it at because it kind of gives us a broad spectrum of people. So
we tested the house-made chips at our location, and they're freaking
Yep.
awesome.
And whose idea was that?
I don't even know.
Oh, we were at a show, and I went over to the Bowl. It was over at the, and I saw them out. Like, I go to Chicago every year for the big Grand Poobah of shows, of the restaurant show, and then there's also like a marketing executive group conference before that, where it's just pretty much ideation all the way through. So it's like I go out from a Wednesday to a Tuesday, and it's just like trying to soak up as much ideas that I can. But we were at a show actually locally. It was with the Gordons, and we went to the one booth, and they had the chips, and I was like, oh my God, how'd you do these? And we it was Dory, Heather B, and I, and we were just like, these are really good. And she had made them like 3 days ago. And that's because I was like telling it, like, how often do you have to make these? Blah, blah, blah. She goes, oh, these are like, these are from 3 days ago.
Wow.
And it was, they were truly like delicious.
Yeah, they're good. They're
Yeah.
not, not your typical like Lay's or like
No.
Kettle Cook. They're a little thicker, like real
You-
nice.
you-
though.
when you come into a local area, a local restaurant, a local brew pub, you want something different. You
Yeah.
don't want that everyday
Absolutely.
chain. That's why you're going there.
Yes.
Well, it's no different. Like we had used Smitty's, but then just with like we moved on to like it was Dutch Country, right? Dutch
We're
Valley.
talking about the pretzel rolls.
Yeah, pretzel rolls. And then we went to Pretzilla, but we were just like, this is not a pretzel roll.
No,
this is
it's
not.
like a
This is
pretzel
like this is a
bun.
pretzel bun.
Yeah, yeah.
So we actually switched back to a true pretzel roll, but it's being made up in Amish country.
What is that?
It is Amish.
What is that company called?
Is it Sturgis?
It's Carlisle.
Is it
It's
Tommy
Carlisle.
Sturgis? Oh, it's
No,
in Carlisle.
It's in Carlisle.
Okay.
So I mean, for us, like South Central PA, the world's
Keep
our
it local.
oyster. Yeah,
Yeah.
like our rainbow bread is made at Bird and Ham Bakery.
Rainbow bread.
Yeah,
What
that's
the hell is
Yeah,
rainbow
I was going
bread?
to ask.
It's for kids.
Yeah, it's
like
for
a-
kids, but it's super popular. People come in and buy loaves of it. I mean, it's
We
just,
used to
it's
get
just
it,
white
like, we
bread
had it
that's
for-
colorful. Yeah.
Oh God, we've had it for like years. Like we.
Huh.
So
Is
That's
that on
new.
the pterodactyl sandwich?
no,
you
the
can
pterodactyl.
request that
Actually,
if
we
you
get
wanted to.
we get our French bread, but that's a French bread Sammy, and that actually comes from a bakery in Lancaster. That's Alfred and
Sam's.
Sons.
I think
Sam's.
that's cool. You guys are sourcing the
Yeah.
local area
Yeah.
to help, and that's what we mentioned this early in this episode is the community that you're building, not just with the other brewers, amongst other industry.
Oh,
Isaacs is really, active in the community too. The GM meeting we have next week is at the York Food Bank.
right.
We're volunteering.
Where we're
there.
going to volunteer for the first, and I already warned them. I said like because when we go to a food bank and we pack boxes, we're done. Like we always amaze them. They're just like, you guys are done already. It's so I already told Josh to tell them like overload us. You're gonna be like
Yeah.
just don't because we can't be standing around then after
Yeah.
because we have a GM meeting afterwards. So I was like make sure that we have enough to do because we always like they'll say like all right they'll portion out for 5 hours and we're done in 3. So, but again, it's our way of giving back to the community.
You have to. We mentioned
Yeah.
that at the beginning of this. You got to make a footprint in the community, and that's how you build your rapport.
Oh, here, you should just drink mine.
Yeah, I'll drink that too.
Okay.
I did.
Jeez,
I did have a recipe question. How long do you have to boil the pterodactyl down to get it soft? I was just trying to think.
You're just like trying to rack your head about getting a joke out about that, like say something like they're bringing back the dire wolf, like maybe they'll like bring back the.
We got to roast it in a volcano. Days.
Do you gotta
Slow
like go to a
roasted,
different dig site to find these pterodactyl bones? And
I was gonna say you better soak it in water for a while
Well,
because
isn't-
they've been dried out.
Well, with the thermofrost melting right now, a lot of stuff is coming to the surface.
really
is.
so
It's
you don't
not
have to go searching for it.
Isn't there a commercial with David Lee Roth where he has
which-
he grabs a pterodactyl
Yeah, he
and
does,
he puts it in a cooker that
Tastes
he's,
like chicken.
yeah, that he's
Yeah.
driving on.
Commercials. I missed that
Wow.
one.
Is this an
Oh, you
international
gotta see
commercial?
it. Like I
Was that a
David Lee
Super
Roth
Bowl
is back.
commercial?
I think it was
Yeah.
originally, but they've been showing it a lot. I mean,
I missed
I
that.
haven't
Yeah.
seen that. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it was funny.
David Lee Roth grabbing a pterodactyl.
Yeah, and he has it in this big cooker on the trailer behind the truck. The commercials for Ram Truck, isn't
Right.
it?
Well, no, because yes, you know what? I think you're right, but they also had the other one where the guy's reading about the 3 bears, Goldilocks and the 3
Yes.
bears to the kids. That's the one that I freaking love that. I just cracked up over it because it's just where they're screaming at the end, and then all of a sudden the little bears in the seat, like in with them, they're all screaming. And he goes, "But what about the bears?" Like, there were bears. Like,
Some of the commercials are funny, and it probably you probably get more out of it because you're in that marketing mode.
oh, I look for it just to see what I mean.
Ideas. Are you picking ideas off of?
Oh heck yeah! They always mimicry is the best form of compliment. So it's like it's just constantly like you have to. I was blessed to work when I was in the advertising agency back in the '90s. My boss basically taught me to make, and there's a word for it too, like to make inanimate objects speak, and just basically like you gotta like change it up, like just and his agency, we were B2B, which is business to business, and normally at that time frame it was so freaking dry. Like business to business was like the most bleh. And he made shit so funny. Like we had it was in the ceramics industry, like where you have like where it was right when a lot of the distributors were trying to be jack of all trades, so to speak. So they were like carrying like all these different types. It was for refineries and stuff, and they were coming up like, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, and they had we called it the platypus ad. Because it, like we just basically showed like a platypus is like, you know, and it was like basically, what is it, like, you know, like, are you this, are you that, like, you know.
That was God on weed. We're gonna make a platypus.
So that's the
Definitely
kind of
was.
shit that he pulled. Like we also did like we had the art of fun, the fun art of technology, and we had 9 paintings that our artist who I kind of poached later on to come over to Isaac's. He did 9 paintings in the style of masters, like great art, like Picasso, Rembrandt, George O'Keeffe, and he basically did paintings where he featured. It was for ITT engineered valves, and did like a valve in each of the paintings, and a lot of it, like say in the Dolly one that he did, everything's melting around it, but the Richter valve just was like it was perfect, and that's because the Richter valve could like withstand heat. So there's like there was like kind of thought process to it, but this went over. People like they wanted to buy like painting. They wanted to buy the paintings and they wanted to have prints. So they actually made prints then.
Wow.
So that's how you have to be, like, I think, just in this
With
industry.
marketing.
Just even creating a beer, like what can you do? Like, because again, I think most people don't realize that when you're adding adjuncts or flavors to a beer, you got to remember that the
Has to play well.
It has to play well, but like you have to imagine that flavor without the sweetness.
Yeah.
Because I'm using that. Most of the times we're using that for the sugar. That we want to get the sugar. We're going to pull it out because we're going to be using it in our fermentation. The yeast is just going to chomp the hell out of it.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to imagine flavors without the sweetness. Like that's when I did like the Pawpaw and Black Locust honey in the one beer that I did up at Mood Duck, because I just knew that those flavors without it would just like earthy. There'd be like nutty, vanilla even. There was like vanilla flavor that just came out from it just because you pull the sweetness out and then you get these remaining flavors. So
Beer brewing, distilling, wineries, meaderies, ciders, it's a science.
oh, it is.
And we've met some very intelligent scientists on this that we've recorded with.
We've also met a couple of mad scientists on this program.
And
They're even better.
What was it? It was Corey from Rehab, the regional area Harrisburg brew amateur
Right.
brewers. He's like, I don't even recipe. I just
Yeah.
throw shit together.
Wow, really?
And I'm like, I got at least. I'm a planner. I have to plan.
I think there's a beauty in both. That's what the fantastic like ability of beer is that you could like do it so many different ways.
Yeah.
There's
There's so many styles. There's
Right.
only so many styles, but what can you do with that style to make it distinct and unique?
Oh, and like the stuff that's coming out now, I know
like
everyone
music.
like sometimes they'll turn their nose up at it, like like a sorbetto or the sours, like some certain sours.
we've
or
had-
milkshakes and stuff, but
I
it's
just heard
like
of that recently.
There's
The
that
milkshake
was a
thing.
fad that's kind of on the downward. The milkshake, thick sours, smoothie sours. But we had one here with Jim Herbison, that key lime pie sour.
Yep.
Oh, I think he took silver over at your Lancaster Brewers Guild with that. It was a key lime pie sour, and you got all 3 flavors of a key lime pie at different levels.
I
That
think
sounds
one of the
interesting. That
most
sounds
like
good, yeah.
interesting
It was good.
for flavorful and stuff is collusion.
Oh, Jared.
Yeah, Jared. Like, I mean, again,
He's a
major
mad
respect,
scientist.
Yes, and it's just, but what we love, I loved going over there sometime and just like getting like a flight. We like some of us would just each of us would get a flight, and then we just mix our beers.
5
All right,
flights. Till you get through his board, you're at least 5 or 6 flights in.
But it's like I actually have like a list on my phone of like the beers that we kind of mixed together, and we came up with a new name. We just pulled one word out of each title just to come up with it because, and again, Alex, if you're listening, I really just turn the volume down right now.
Give you some background.
Yeah, but it's just like I love blending beers sometimes together. Just like we'll mix stuff and I get it like that because I mean these are babies for the brewmasters. But again, it's like I like putting the next beer that we're gonna taste. I love putting a scoop of ice cream in it.
That makes sense.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it's to make a beer float.
I used to make a
I never
Guinness
thought
float.
about that
I made a Guinness
before.
float when I managed the pickle bar, and it was literally just ice cream, Guinness, a little bit of
Yeah,
chocolate syrup. And
that's
it. Was
it.
Good. People loved it, man.
I tell you what,
Cream
there
on top.
used to be a place in downtown York. It's where Rockfish Grill was. It was an Irish place, Irish pub.
Did it close? The Irish pub.
Yeah, long time ago. But I got their shepherd's pie. That was the stew was done in Guinness.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
My fucking God!
It
was
just
delicious.
adds a whole new
Yeah.
level. So again, like that's just another whole like new way of drinking beer
Yeah.
and making it approachable to some people who may like, I don't like it. Blah,
Yeah, I
blah,
don't like
blah.
beer.
I don't like beer.
I don't drink that hoppy shit.
Usually I just like hand them like someone like that, like especially at a brew fest, like when the girlfriend's coming along with the guy and stuff like that, and she's like, yeah, it's just like just drink this. It's like a wine cooler. It's actually our Wizard Noir. Well, actually it's our whole Wizard collection. It started off as the Purple Wizard and that had blueberries in it. And again, just another point because the Purple Wizard actually it came the recipe from a mistake.
A
really?
Mistake?
Oh.
Some beers become they are mistakes.
It was a mistake, and like because I'll never forget because Alex handed me like a glass. He said, "Here's the Purple Wizard, John." He goes, "I put too many blueberries in and blah blah blah," but he had fermented it and got the sugar out of it. So when I tasted, I was just like, "Oh my God!" And he goes, oh, "No." He goes, I said, "No, it's good." And he goes, "Well, should I change?" I said, "Don't change the recipe. How many blueberries did you actually put in there?" So he'll do stuff and he'll recognize when something's like he can like keep it. So we've kept that one and it's gone through some different.
You tweak it.
Oh
You
yeah.
change it.
He'll just like it's almost like a collection.
Yeah.
So like we've had like the Pink Wizard, which was we did it with cranberry, but then this last one was with
What was the one
peach
that-
raspberry.
What was the one you did with
Oh, that the Purple Wizard ooh la
that
la.
sorbet? Or
Yeah, that was the
whatever?
acai berries.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I'm not super into like the fruit kind of.
Yeah, it was a
fruited
collaboration
beers,
with
but, man, it
Oola
was
Bowls.
really good.
I tell you what, it's same thing. I was not into fruity pumpkin or any of that kind of stuff till we started doing what we're doing, and we have tasted some very, very good beers.
When you still get the beer flavor and then there's a slight hint of fruit, I like that. But when it's overly fruity,
You can't be overbearing.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
like my cream ale base a couple years ago, I come out with a cream ale,
Oh, Jenny.
and it's I call it my Summer Dreams line. So the first one I did was an orange dreamsicle,
Love those.
and
Oh, yeah.
I've done that a couple times, and it's delicious. So last summer, funny story, I was doing the orange dreamsicle. I needed vanilla, ordered vanilla.
Yeah.
They sent me rhubarb.
Oh,
What?
Picture was vanilla, description said vanilla, but they sent me rhubarb. So I call. They said, we'll replace it. They send me rhubarb
Again.
again. So I'm like, what the hell am I? And I'm like, you know what? Got an idea. Last summer I did a
lemons
cream
make
ale
lemonade.
as a strawberry rhubarb.
yeah.
And that didn't last but 3 weeks. I mean, everybody was like, damn, this is just good. So this year, my wife's like, well, make it with blueberries. I'm like, you mentioned blueberries. I'm like, you're not going to fucking drink it. Why, I might? No, you ain't. So guess what? This year, I'm going to do the cream ale
Do it with the rhubarb.
with blueberry.
Oh, with,
I'm going to do blueberries this year.
okay. I see what
A
she
blueberry
does.
cream ale.
Did you say blue bar?
Bluebarb.
Bluebarb.
Oh my God, blueberries and rhubarb. Bluebarb.
Hey, what
Set
did we
it-
just talk about?
I know exactly. Look, there's your idea.
Yeah.
That's the idea of
Bluebarb.
dropping on it. Bluebarb.
Is that a new Barbie movie?
Bluebarb.
Oh, I heard LeBron's going to be a Ken doll.
Tell me you're kidding.
I am not kidding. He signed a contract with
Is-
what is it, Mattel? As
I don't know.
for the Barbie Ken dolls.
He does
So
know
he's
that like
gonna
it's
be
not anatomically correct, so it's going to be
Oh,
a flat
jeez.
front. Wait till he gets that doll and says like, "What do you mean? No, that's not right."
I just heard it on the way home tonight. I'm sorry.
It's going to be like watching that Adam Sandler for the Happy Gilmore 2 trailer. Who's looking at his trophy face. What is that? SpongeBob?
Oh, no.
But we've heard that, some like the sours were actually failed beers, and
They are. If you've ever gone through the Cicerone, which is the beer program, part of it to go through it, at least the first level, and I think actually it gets more intense on the second level. But the first level, you have to identify 12 or 18 off flavors, and it's basically beers gone bad. So basically, you'll get a kit in, you'll have the kit, and you'll usually get something like say like Bud Light or Miller Light.
Well, that's bad right from the get-go.
Well, no, it's just like it's to make it all consistent. Like I mean, so and then you just drop, or maybe we use Coors, which isn't But anyhow, and again, you got to give Coors Light. I mean, I'm going to say this now, and I know this is what a teacher said to me because like they said it was in the course, and the whole class like just was like what, like heresy, and he said, you need to make your beer like Coors Light. And everyone's like, no way, blah, blah, blah. He goes, no. Not the style, like, to get out of your head. But they make how many, like, billions of gallons of beer, and they are all consistent.
It's consistent across the board.
Yeah. And that's why that's where it was like, you know what? That's what you have to strive for. But anyhow, you take the beer, and there's, like, these little droppers, and you put the different flavors in, and that's how it'll, like some will taste like a Band-Aid. Like and it's just for like stuff that can go wrong or like when your beer.
Tastes
Yeah. How many Band-Aids have you eaten?
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Oh, stop.
we were mentioning beers that failed that turned out to be okay. One of our kit beers was a Kolsch. It was a Kolsch kit. I got it. We brewed it. I put it in the fermenter, and I bought one of those bands that you keep consistent temperature around the fermenter. Day later, I check it. It's 90-some degrees.
Oh, jeez.
So something shorted.
Yeah.
I call the brewery person I bought my stuff from, and he mentioned, does it taste like a Band-Aid?
Huh.
That's the funk.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, no, I don't get any like that tangy, like maybe a glue smell.
Cardboard's another one.
Right.
Like wet
Weird.
cardboard.
I said, but it's dark. Well, I left it finished fermenting.
Okay.
And this was going to be a raspberry Kolsch. I was going to put raspberry flavoring to it. I wound up finishing the beer because I didn't think it was funked. It wasn't a Kolsch. The Kolsch was out the window. It was more raspberry. It was a raspberry beer. So I bottled it. I take it out, and I take it to these places that, like I go camping, they'll have a beer share. I take it. This is fucking good.
See?
I'm like, oh, it ain't what it was supposed to be.
One
met-
man's trash is another man's treasure.
People are like, damn, this is good beer. I'm like, yeah, it's just a raspberry beer.
Yeah. Again, there's only like I never quite got it. Like when I just basically learned it. Just like this is the type of bacteria, blah blah blah, or this is what happened to the beer. This is how it's going to taste. That's as far as I got with it because, again, the one was like it tastes like bananas. It's like, well, I'm sorry, Hefeweizens. Like you have like a Hefeweizen yeast,
banana
like
clove.
It's like an ester. So it's like, I'm sorry. Like I mean, why are you telling me this is like bad or like so.
And our palates are different. He'll taste something. I don't taste it. I taste something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually here for the taste and the beer.
That's an interesting thing about the
He's like, I'm just
tasting
here for the
different
ABV.
things. When I'm trying to explain to servers and stuff about tasting these beers and what I'm getting out of it or what like the
What you taste?
they are like, what? Like they, and I have to be like, no, it doesn't have chocolate in it. Like you have, you're.
It's
you're
the roasted notes that give you that chocolate.
Like it's the palate's not.
And
there for
usually,
everybody.
actually, like the name is based on the color.
I mean, my
of
servers
it.
are awesome. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but like to explain to people
Please
that
don't be listening to him.
that you might get a caramel taste from this or that, but there's no caramel in it. They're like, well, I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's
That's one of the things I love about beer, wine, like the whole thing. It's
and we're finding out. And when you mention the different hops, I like Brooks Haymauer does a Garage Series IPA where he'll do one hop in it. So when you taste his IPA, his base with the one hop, you get to know what that hop tastes like. So
Yeah,
if you're getting
that's
an
cool.
IPA with different hops, you say you like to use Fuggle.
Yeah.
English hops have a more earthy note to them. All English hops. You get some of these American hops, they got a whole different characteristics.
Well, you're also talking like if I grow we discussed that earlier. If
Oh,
I
yeah.
grow a Fuggle over in England and
Good.
then I grow a Fuggle in America,
Gonna taste
It's
different.
going to taste
different
different.
climates and
Like-
stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
As soon as I see mosaic, I know I'm getting dank. It's going to be a dank palate.
I like the dank palate.
And that's
you're-
part of what we're here to do is tell us stories. And when you go out and you taste these different beers and you get different flavors out of it, start to understand or ask the brewer, what did you use in it? Then you'll start to understand what these beers are going to be like.
Well, neither one of us had started out like a lot of these like brewmasters.
They were home brewers.
They were
and-
home brewers, and I always say like some of the best like brewers are the ones that actually have a start in some kind of a science.
Science.
Right?
It is a science.
Like chemical, biochemical, whatever. Like any kind of thing like that. Also, like people who like started out like in accounting or like in math, like something like that. It's
Derek
just-
Wolf.
Yeah.
You know.
Derek Wolf from Wolf Brewing. Mad scientist and smart as hell.
Yeah, like I always call Mike Brubaker up at Mood
Oh.
Dog the beer whisperer. Like I mean, it's just like because I'll be like, are
I-
we ready? Are we ready?
What-
Are we ready? It's just like it's just wait.
When
Just
we
wait.
go to brew, it's on a prayer and a whim. I hope it fucking tastes good.
But again, you just sometimes you never know, like because anything can go wrong with it, and it's just
Anything
they're-
can go wrong.
Yeah, anything
I've
can
had a couple go
wrong.
funk. Yeah, I've had, and everybody. There's not a brewer out there that has not had a beer go funk.
No, I don't. Actually though, for Mike, I have to say like because I've asked him about it, and I think he's only had like two.
It sucks because I'm brewing 5-gallon batches at home.
Yeah,
these
try
guys
like
are
a
brewing
10,
1, 2,
15,
3, 4
20.
or more barrels.
Yeah.
that's a lot of beer to dump down the
Yep.
drain.
Oh man, that's crazy.
But what? So, any future expansions, or is Isaac's happy with what we currently have, the footprint?
We'll expand at some point. Right now, we're trying to go back because it's just money's tight. I mean, you're talking like we want to go back and kind of like we have our last location that we opened was Lebanon, and that was 2 years ago, right?
And that's one of the brewery locations, right?
That's one of the brewery locations. But that look that's in there, we want to put like in all of our.
You want to replicate that?
Yeah. So our next targeted like revamp is
West York.
Lidditz, sorry. Like West York, we have
We
to get
do.
through the West York will be there at some point, but it's just like they're ripping up the parking lot now and all sorts of stuff. So we pick Lidditz because Lidditz it just needs some love anyhow.
And you get some nice pretzels up there too.
we're talking Lidditz actually. It's a great
cool
location.
town. Tom
That's
Sturgis.
It is a nice
Absolutely.
location up
Yeah,
there. And
and,
plus, you have Rock Lidditz that
Right.
Yeah,
brings in
Rock
all of
Lidditz
the
is
major
awesome.
acts.
Exactly.
So
And gets a
Yeah.
ton of different
Rock
people
Lidditz
in there. Lidditz is like
good.
that, like one of those quintessential like rural towns.
Wasn't
it's
it
a nice
like
country
voted
town.
coolest small town in America?
Well,
Yeah.
there you could have a
Something like that?
PPB festival, pickles, pretzel
Beer.
beer festival.
PPP.
Ew,
Oh, PPP.
can we just take out the pickle?
No. You need to have a pickle.
I am
But
not the
again,
pickle
that's the
fan.
kind of stuff that we're doing
Isaac's
probably for
kinda
the next
famous for
3
pickles,
years, just
too.
with tight budgets and stuff. And
where
just all
the economy's at and the unknown right
Exactly.
now.
So
I-
that look for that. Look where we'll go back and just revisit locations
I will say that,
that
like,
need to have.
East York location.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a huge. It's a really big spot. There used to be a gift shop in there.
So you could have
We-
the brewery
well,
tanks over here, the distillery over here.
There's a plan in the works that I
Yes.
don't know if I should mention yet, but like
Just-
it's not a
you
brew
can
thing,
mention, but just
it's
like-
going to be a nice little addition to
Like a combination.
yeah.
A combination.
I think it's awesome. I mean,
So again, that's where we're going to be doing for just honing our 13 locations, because like we sloughed off a whole bunch of locations that just weren't performing, and so that we would not be draining money, just got rid of them so we could put the money into making the breweries and then putting in the kegerators and putting in the entry level,
which is people don't realize. I mean, there's one here in York right now that Spruce, I think it's called, that's been in the works
Oh,
for
yeah,
like
yeah,
3 or 4
over-
years, and they're still not open.
It's going to be gorgeous when it does.
Oh, it's gorgeous. They got top notch. They got top notch shit.
Tanks. Their tanks are just like beautiful,
and they're displayed nice.
I know.
And you can see them right off of 30.
I got tank envy. When I drive by there, tank envy.
Oh man, I tell you what, this has been a phenomenal story.
Yeah,
fun as hell.
Listening to him talk is just.
I think Dave's still on vacation because he hasn't talked much.
He's just been sitting back and listening.
I've been listening,
taking it all in.
Johnny's got
And
the
I'm
stories,
enjoying-
though, man.
been-
Like it's
I just carry the history. That's like
you
I always
ca-
said, like I have to
yeah.
be the historian.
Yeah,
And I
enjoy
worked
listening.
with Phil. Like he was my direct supervisor for like 15 years, 16 years. So it's like that's where I just needed to like learn all the history to be able to carry it on. Like it's in the Isaac's lore now. So
Yeah.
I have a question. So, like, how are you guys getting your name out there more often with like the brewery now with the new branding?
the
Right
best
here.
way, honestly, going to like
Yeah.
a brew fest. That's one great way.
People come up, like you said,
Yeah, like
Isaac's.
And then just also like digital marketing is another a fast, easy way of pushing out because it's almost like putting a message in front of the right person. You just have to be careful. You have to keep on monitoring your results and how often something is reserved and all that other crap.
because I know my algorithm is pretty much screwed on social media, so
fine.
I actually never even knew you guys rebranded or any of that.
Again, our outside of the buildings really like still say a lot of them have the old signs, and it's
Yeah.
like we don't have the money yet to like change it over. We're
It
in
takes
the
a
process.
big pocketbook
Yeah, for
to
sure.
rebrand.
So there's
an
like
existing
5
brand.
locations out of the 13 that have the true logo on the outside. Like the Spring Ridge is one up in Wyomissing. Downtown Lancaster has that poor downtown Lancaster went through so many different names
Oh,
then
yeah.
too. So that's like
Yeah.
we had it like we couldn't change it over, even though that's the first brewery because it had like a different name, like Isaac's Brew House, Isaac's.
Yeah.
you know.
Brew
So
house. Yeah, that was
so it went to that, but then but Lemoyne, Ross Moyne has half. It's like, again, it's just like you can only do so much.
Yeah.
right now. It's a lot of word of mouth, and
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
And we're going to help spread it
Eventually
because
we'll,
I'm going to help. We're going to help break that preconceived barrier down, like I
Is that the
personally
same
had.
Isaac's?
Yeah.
Isaac's.
Isaac's?
that's
Sandwich
what
shop?
we need to bring.
Yes,
that
Isaac's.
on.
You
Yeah,
must go
sure.
to a fucking Isaac's.
Flocking. We'll say flocking. That way
All
we
right,
can
we'll
appeal
flock
to
to Isaac's.
There we
flock
go.
to Isaac's.
Birds in a feather. We're going to drink beers together.
Look,
Very
that's
good.
that's
Love
like
that.
Chat GBT worthy. Are you sure you're not a
Are
chatbot?
you sure you're not Chad
You're a
GPT?
chatbot.
Now, what you-
I am not artificially intelligent.
Are you
I'm
a-
not
I don't
even
know, he gave
human
birth-
intelligent.
Or
He
what's that-
created me,
what's the one-
so-
Are you sure you're not a machine? Are you a machine?
what you need to do, okay, is to get that guy off the Love Boat, Isaac's,
Love boat.
and get him to come in. And
Oh, Isaac.
You don't remember him?
Oh, no. I remember him because when Glenn was here the last time, he talked about expanding brewery tours to the Pride of the Susquehanna, which didn't happen last year because the boat went in for repairs. And I said, you need to have a Love Boat theme. And we have our Isaac right here.
There you go.
Oh my!
The Love Boat.
Oh, I got Love Boat. And,
Well, another thing
and
that we're doing because
Airplane mixed
again,
up there for a
I'm sorry,
second.
I interrupted. I just keep
I got
talking.
like
just
the Love
it just
Boat and the
hit
movie
me.
Airplane mixed up in my head for a second.
Two different scenarios.
And I
Well,
was like,
now-
what are you talking about?
Honestly, anytime I think of the Love Boat theme, all I can think of is that girl out
That
of
new
this-
commercial.
Well, Sister Act. She was in Sister Act 2, and she they said sing whatever comes to you. Like, what's the song that's in there that just needs to burst out? And all of a sudden she stands up and she's like, the Love Boat.
With that new commercial.
Does
It
she-
was.
You need to take that.
It was a.
We just didn't sample that.
Yeah, there was a new commercial
What
about
you
a
just
cruise
sang,
line.
You can just sample that and put that.
There was about a cruise line, and this girl's singing, and I'm like, my wife and I are sitting there watching. I'm like, was she in the original cast? No, she's just a singer promoting a cruise line using the Love Boat,
Okay.
and we have our Isaac.
There we go. We're going to take this show on the road.
I'm the only one fucking laughing.
You're
I
the only
know.
one here that thinks it's funny. Even our guests don't even think it's funny.
He said, I have now used that joke 3 times. I'm not getting the
You're
laughs
not-
that I
not
think
getting
I
a
should
laugh
get.
out of it.
I'm not getting a laugh. What's wrong? What's going on?
That's
Let me
'cause
try-
I'm not a
Let
stand-up
me try
comedian.
it one more time.
Can't
Okay, I'm
go.
going to do it one more time.
I can't
Well,
go.
Yeah.
We know you ain't getting on SNL.
Fuck no. I think it's great. What we've learned about you two gentlemen about Isaac's history, and what has Isaac's become, and what maybe the future holds for you. I think it's been phenomenal.
We're open to change and to keep on moving forward because we know that we have to.
You have
We
to. You have
keep
to
on.
always adapt and move
Yep.
forward. Before we get into our last beer, Dave, you've been kind of quiet all night. I think you're still on vacation.
I'm still on vacation. I haven't recovered yet. It takes
And that's quite all right.
It takes a couple of days to recover from, it was different for me. I mean, you get up at 8:00 in the morning to go out and
That's early for
hike on a cliffside somewhere.
I thought that's late for Dave.
No, that's early.
It's early for me. But and we did that for 12 days straight, and it just kind of wears you out. But it not so much that is the fact that I enjoy listening to you two guys more than anything. I'm not going to interrupt that.
No,
This has
thank
been
you.
fun.
Yeah. It's been fun.
appreciate that.
It's been fun.
And Dave liked your IPA.
Yeah,
That's
I like the
Breaking it
We're
from
going to
being
start have to get like a board and checking off beers of
IPA-ter.
what Dave likes.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need a medal for that.
This is
or
all
something.
based
Yeah,
on.
trophy.
This is all
Yeah.
based on
Dave
me.
liked
It's
it.
what I
Dave
like.
liked it. That'll be like the tagline for it. Like Dave liked
Dave
it.
liked it.
Dave liked it.
Dave liked it.
Okay.
Was that
Well,
Mikey likes it?
yeah, Mikey liked
Dave
it.
liked
Commercial.
Dave liked it.
Dave likes it.
Dave likes it.
Dave should be the Mikey.
There,
of
there you
beer.
go. There's your new marketing scheme. But
Dave
Dave
recommended
likes it.
Dave likes it.
Ben, any comments?
No, I am actually glad I came in, learned about Isaac's, did not know it was a central PA location, just business.
I didn't realize that chain was just PA either.
Yeah.
So
And
good to know something.
just to know it's been here for a long time and to see the growth that they're doing and what the future holds, definitely have to go in and get the pterodactyl
Or the mallard. Either one.
Mallard.
I know,
On
mallard.
rainbow bread.
on rainbow
No,
bread.
no,
There
no,
we go.
no. I mean, our rainbow bread's good, but don't do that to that sandwich.
No, not-
Either one.
Yeah.
Dan, Johnny, this has been a fun episode.
Oh, we had a
has
blast.
been.
Yeah,
I'm so
absolutely,
glad
man.
that
This is
Dan
fun.
set this up.
sure.
Way to
So
go,
we got
Dan.
one more beer here before we get out of here. Tell us about the Uncle Johnny's. You've already kind of precluded to it.
Well, I did, but I don't know if I should be saying the name again, or Dan will be like, Johnny, this is Isaac's.
No, go for it.
The original recipe is what I came up with to graduate from the Hack Brewing Science program.
So this is your recipe.
The original recipe, but Alex just tweaked it and made it better. Anytime he would like do something to it, he just would say like, "Johnny, can I do this to it? Johnny, what about this?" And
Is this the pecan butts one, right?
no,
That's
it's
what I
not.
was gonna say.
No, that's
I was wondering.
peeking at Johnny's nuts porter, and that's with Modoc again. So this one is the Uncle Johnny's porter. Again, when I first came up with it, it was like I just wanted a porter without any adjuncts in it. It just was going to be I just wanted the malts to sing, and then that's why I wanted just Fuggle hops in it. That was it. So,
And people look at a dark like a porter or a stout. Oh, I don't like all that heavy dark stuff. They are a light beer.
oh, they are.
They're just dark because of the
They look
roasted
at it,
malts.
but yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. It is still an ale. It is a light ale because they usually come in between 5 and 6% ABV.
Yep.
Not a lot of mid-grade IBU, but they are dark. It's when they get heavy is when you start barrel age them or you put adjuncts in them. But when people are like, no, it's motor oil. No, it's fucking delicious. It's fucking delicious.
For sure.
Well,
I
again, for
totally
this
agree.
one, the hops that he used on it this time around, he just used Callisto.
Okay,
So-
that's one I'm not familiar with. And there's hundreds of hops.
Oh, yeah.
and they're
that-
coming out with new varieties all the time.
So I hope I pronounced that right because I just like he said Johnny and he had it in his description. So I was like, all right.
It's not
So-
Calypso. That was from Pirates
of the Caribbean.
Don't piss Calypso off.
Calypso. But anyhow, it's still again, like you don't want your porter to really be hoppy.
No.
So and you just need it a little bit for the bittering, but then I don't like to have a bit or uber bitter porter either. So
No, you want it to be nice and smooth on the palate from the
Yep.
roasted malts. A little bit of that dryness of that ale is where is a porter and a stout. So, Dan, Johnny, this has been a phenomenal episode. We're glad you stopped in here at the Central PA Pour.
And before
Well,
you
thank
cheers us
you.
out, I want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
But anyway,
time to
I
talk.
just want to, I joked about my vacation, but actually, my cousin gave me one of the best vacations I ever had
And you
in my
deserved
life. And it was a lot of it was scary, but it was fun.
You needed it.
Yeah, both of us.
That's good.
Sandy and I both needed it.
excellent.
So I wanted to give a shout out to him because I think he's going to be listening to this one.
So, hey, we appreciate the time. We look
Yes.
forward to doing a beer food
Food
pairing,
pairing.
at
Absolutely.
Isaac's at one of the locations. And we look forward to whatever Isaac's and their future growth is, whether it's more breweries, more distilleries, or whatever. And you have converted me from a non-believer to a believer. I will be coming to Isaac's.
Nice.
And we hope we've converted you to at least go in and try them because what we've learned tonight, what we've had tonight has been phenomenal. It's definitely worth a visit. So if you're out there, let's raise a glass with Dan Ricca and Johnny Roberts from Isaac's Craft Brewery and Kitchen.
Craft Kitchen and Brewery.
Craft Kitchen
You
and
almost
Brewery.
got it. You were like going too slowly, but thank you so much. And
Appreciate
cheers
it.
to you
And
guys
Yes.
too.
Ben, Dave, and myself and the CPP. And let's all be bonded
bonded
by
by
beer.
Bonded by
Cheers.
beer. Cheers.